It's almost!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right on the show today, Australian Big Bash League side Sydney Sixers posted an April Fool prank featuring Virat Kohli. But is Australia employing double standards here when it comes to him in particular, to Kohli? Use him to promote their cricket and mock him when they feel like it. And speaking of mocking, Lucknow franchise captain Rishabh Pant is on the hot seat as pressure builds on the IPL's most expensive buy. Has his own statements before the season come to bite him? As Punjab joins the queue to taunt the Indian cricketer. And on Liberation Day, US President Donald Trump is facing some battles on the golf course. Vandalization by a Palestinian group on Trump's golf course could mean more than just financial damage. What's the latest here? And all of this is, of course, heading your way. But first, a look at the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with cricket, New Zealand hammered Pakistan by 84 runs in the second ODI of the three-match series with 2 wins in 2. New Zealand have sealed the series. That's just one left to go. Mitchell Hayes' 99 powered New Zealand to 292. While bowling, Ben Sears picked 5 to dismiss Pakistan for 208. Earlier, Pakistan also lost the T20 series before this 1-4. Meanwhile, in IPL, Hyderabad franchise has reached an agreement with the state's Cricket Association over ticketing and passes sharing. This comes after Hyderabad threatened to leave their home ground owing to ticket disputes this season. The HCA have agreed to follow BCCI's guidelines over the matter. Moving to football, Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti will go on trial for tax fraud. Ancelotti has been accused of failing to pay over $1 million in taxes in 2014 and 2015. The prosecutor is seeking prison term of 4 years and 9 months and a fine of $3.5 million for 2 counts of tax evasion. Meanwhile, in some good news for the club, Real Madrid beat Real Sociedad 5-4 on aggregate in the Copa del Rey semi-finals. Goals from Endrick, Jude Bellingham and Aurelien Tchouameni kept Madrid on level terms before Antonio Rudiger scored the winner in additional time. In the Premier League, Manchester United suffered another defeat as they lost to Nottingham Forest 1-0. The only goal of the match came from former United player Anthony Elanga. With 13 losses in 30 matches this season, Man United sit 13th on the points table. And Saudi Arabia is now keen on hosting the Rugby World Cup. The country, along with Qatar and UAE, reportedly want to jointly bid for one of the World Cups in 2035 and 39. Neither Qatar, UAE nor Saudi Arabia have participated in this tournament before. Now, Australia and Virat Kohli share a very tenuous bond. Virat Kohli plays some of the best cricket when he's up against some of the best in the world. And when we can, of course, as Indians, grudgingly admit that Australia as a sporting country has produced some of the very best. Virat Kohli's aggression stems from wanting to be the best and beating the best and the perfect opponents to match that kind of attitude and valor, and that spirit is Australia. They invented sledging, they are born to be aggressive themselves, they play hard and rough cricket. And this relationship has had various exciting chapters on and off the field over the years. But the latest is no episode of a contest on the field, but a prank. An April 1st prank that Australia's BBL, Big Bash League side Sydney Sixers decided to play yesterday. April 1st has become a day now for social media platforms to go into a bit of a frenzy in what sometimes turns out to be a lame attempt to eliciting a laugh. Various franchises, broadcasters, sportspersons and sporting boards tried their hand at playing the fool. So what did the Sydney Sixers do? They put up this post. Of course, it brought out a flurry of reactions, a lot of engagement, surprises and sense of disbelief. some fans got swept away, carried away a bit there, putting the BCCI rules that the board has for their current international stars to the side and almost believing into some sense of watching Virat Kohli play T20 cricket in Australia. There were many speculations that were beginning to come in, till of course Sixers commented on that post a while later announcing the bluff. But guess what? This post is the most shared, the most liked, and has the most engagement on their account. And that's what I want to reflect and talk about here. Kohli has scored a ton of runs against this particular opponent, Australia. He's had some unbelievable contests over in Australia in the past. The first time he in fact captained a test side was in Australia when MS Dhoni stepped aside. The country and his achievements there have been special to him. But there's a flip side to all of this. Australia and Virat share a love-hate relationship, almost toxic. And I'm not referring to the cricketing team versus Virat Kohli here, though there was enough fire in there as well recently. Absolute drama that, but just how the Australian ecosystem tries its best to get to him, whether it is by riling him up even after he is dismissed. Or calling him a bully and going after him when all he did was request the journalist there to not film his family, his children. And the next one, of course, that takes the cake, denouncing him to be a clown. Whether it's the Australian media, the press there, the fans, the entire system that is around the Australian cricketing fraternity there is out to get Kohli, to try and get under his skin and go after him. And the same people will then do all they can, use Kohli when it's convenient for them to get their social media platform buzzing, like they did with the April 1st prank post.
Australian newspapers, media and even some ex-cricketers are the definition of being two-faced. First, they go and call Virat Kohli the king, but the moment he shows some aggression, he is labelled in this way. You want to make cricket popular, but at the expense of Virat Kohli's market value. We will not accept this.
You can't have it both ways, dear Australia. You can't hate him and then use him to sell your copies, sell your matches, your broadcast rights, your social media engagement. Virat Kohli is a brand, yes, and he built that brand of aggression that comes on the back of records and runs and victories that he's led India to, all to his name. Australia needs to come up with their own strategies around their own sporting icons, there are many of those, to make a point. You can't have the cake and eat it too. Being a captain in the Indian Premier League is no cakewalk, especially when you happen to be the most expensive purchase. And that's what Rishabh Pant is slowly discovering as the season has kicked in. Lucknow crumpled to a loss to Punjab last night. Now, a loss itself is okay, but this one really hurt. Punjab not only hammered Pant and his men all across the park, but Pant was made to regret statements that he himself had made just a while back. Punjab surely didn't forget. Let's dive right into the whole drama. Now, even before the match began, all eyes were on Rishabh Pant, the captain, and the prospect of him living up to the heavy price tag that Lucknow bought him for. That's one of the things about being an expensive buy. No one will ever let you forget it, especially when you're not performing. And this was another match with Pant failing with the bat, scoring just 2 runs. Now, here's the other thing about being a captain, and that too at Lucknow. The tete-a-tetes post defeats. They will be a regular occurrence, and you'll just have to have the skin for it. Of course, social media ran riot. IPL, as is, gives enough fodder to all the meme factories and everyone just wanting to have a good laugh. And here too, opportunity was not lost. Now, we can, of course, have a smile here outside the ropes, but that is difficult to really take care of. So once you've handled the pressure of a defeat, the post-match analysis with your owner, the social media taunts and jibes that come with it, there's the opponents. Now, we see so many teams with the thickest of friends across the lines, and social media handles of all these teams do all they can to highlight the bromance. But not Punjab, and not last night. As soon as the winning runs were struck and handshakes began, Punjab posted a reel of their captain, Shreyas Iyer, with this caption. Now, the caption in Hindi, of course, there translates to "Our tension ended at the auction." That's what the caption said. When they picked up Shreyas Iyer is what they intended to say with that video. What was that about? It was a direct reference to something Rishabh Pant had said just before the season began in an interview to the broadcaster. Here's what he said.
I only had one tension. That was Punjab. They had the highest purse. When Shreyas went to Punjab, I felt I could make it to LSG. There was a possibility, but eventually, with auction, you never know. So I just thought I would wait and watch and had my fingers crossed.
Pant saying he was tense that Punjab, with that kind of a purse, big purse there, would go after him at the auction table. He was hoping that Punjab wouldn't buy him. He didn't want to go to a franchise that had not made it to the playoffs even once since 2014. The only time they made it to the final then. Pant, with that statement, was clearly touching a raw nerve. And Punjab didn't let that go. They sent a clear message here. Their captain and their first choice was always Shreyas Iyer. That's what they said last night. Clearly, Pant's comments didn't age well. His headache as captain only multiplied, in fact, when his teammate Digvesh Rathi gave Punjab's young opening batter, Priyansh Arya, a bit of a send-off. Well, of course, he's been docked for that send-off, a notebook send-off, a gesture popularized by West Indies bowler Kesrick Williams. Now, my problem is not the celebrations or giving send-offs. Be my guest, I'm always up for a passionate celebration here during a match, but who is it coming from? Now, I understand Virat Kohli doing this to the man who popularized it back in 2019. Kohli gave the notebook send-off back to the Jamaican pacer and his bat did the talking, scoring 94 of 50 deliveries. Now that was drama, that was brilliant there and brilliant turn of events. Digvesh Rathi, playing his third IPL match, only his third, sending off young Priyansh Arya when the match was far from over is no send-off, doesn't deserve to be one and has only made him and his team look a little silly. Because Punjab, who were on the ball, with their performance on their field, the Indian batting core led by Shreyas Iyer and Prabh Simran Kaur gave Lucknow a fitting reply, were also on the money, retorting to this send-off. IPL is where drama happens, and if you fail to find yourself on the right side of such matters, then clawing your way back from it is that much more daunting. As Rishabh Pant is beginning to see and realize, pressure on his individual performance, yet to get a tick there. There's pressure as a captain in the results column, also not looking that good. Pressure as the highest paid cricketer. The collar is hot at this point, and pressure to set a solid dressing room atmosphere and ethics as a leader. That's a work in progress. It's not unthinkable, but can the man who literally fought off a career-threatening accident to come back strong on the international stage do it all here once more in this IPL season? US President Donald Trump prepares to impose Liberation Day tariffs, and as he waits for what's to follow, there is another pressing concern. America sure is his first love, but his passion for one sport is under threat too. Donald Trump's ambition for golf has hit a bit of a road bump. This after pro-Palestinian activists vandalized President Trump's golf resort in Scotland last month. The resort was under renovation and was set to be reopened next month, but given the damages, it will now take some more time for the club to resume its services. And while the financial implications of this delay are likely to be severe, it will also impact Trump's desire to host the prestigious Open Championship. Clearly, a Gaza not for sale slogan has hurt Trump in more ways than one. Our next report tells you more.
US President Donald Trump and golf are synonymous. He's hosted MS Dhoni on a golf course. World leaders are taking up golf lessons to get close to Trump. It's a sport, but it's more than just that for Trump. This is a president who started his Super Bowl morning by playing a game himself. Not American football, but a nice golf outing with one of the legends of the game. Before he walked over to become the first sitting president to attend a Super Bowl, the Republican played a golf game with Tiger Woods in Florida. All before flying to New Orleans to watch the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles face off. So, Trump's golf club in Scotland at the Ayrshire Resort is dear to him. A pro-Palestinian group vandalized the under-renovation facility last month. They made a statement by painting Gaza not for sale, that too near a prestigious hole used in the Open Championships. This act has affected Trump both emotionally and financially. Trump's connection with the Scottish golf course goes beyond his love for the sport. Trump's mother is of Scottish origin, so this facility was expected to harbour both a tribute to his mother and be a symbol for his passion for golf. On the financial side, a delayed reopening means the regular visitors who want to play golf will have to move to other venues, pulling away crowds from Ayrshire Resort. In addition, Trump has been vocal about hosting the Open Championship, a prestigious golf event, ever since he bought the property in 2014. Even though Trump has taken over the iconic area, the governing body hasn't budged on giving them the hosting rights. They feel the court isn't logistically and commercially viable. Now, with the security threat looming over the resort post the act of vandalism, things are bound to get trickier. Trump has demanded harsh action against the culprits and even called them terrorists.
You cannot let things like this attack happen. I was just informed by Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom that they caught the terrorists who attacked the beautiful Turnberry. They did serious damage and will hopefully be treated harshly.
He's asked for a stern approach from the Scottish judicial system. But the 3 people involved have been released pending a further court appearance and investigation. So clearly, Trump has to wait for decisions when a pro-Palestinian group invades his own property. All suggesting that a not very happy Trump sits in the White House as he watches his big plans for the golf facility and the sport going up in smoke.
Time for Last Serve. Our story today proves that nothing can stop true passion. Brazilian beach sport athlete Alexander Canella continues to play the country's popular game, Altina, a discipline where players keep the ball in the air without letting it touch their arms or hands for as long as possible. This despite one of his legs getting amputated. Take a look. Incredible spirit there, but that does it here on First Sports. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.